Hello, guys. So I was asked to talk about which ones are the best rainbow strikers. So the very first thing is I'm not going to be comparing the legendaries because they're different styles. But if I were to vote on them, I would say Vonch and William are extremely close and Leventor is a tiny bit behind, but they're basically going to blow away any other striker. Now on a 5-star level, it's a bit more tough of a competition because of now we have the utility and there's this new craze for the and or crit damage. So I'm going to say approximatively an order, but this order might of course change with the stones, your substat, your team formation, but again, this is on a rainbow front. So this is for people who don't want to follow a mono element. If you're going on a mono element, there are different formations you could do who could actually be stronger than this. So let's get started. First of all, there's a fan favorite who's known especially for COD. There is Charr. So she just currently got a skin, but the reason we're actually going to like Charr is not because of her two first skills, it's going to be because of Pulverize 2. Increase inflicted damage on target by 20%, combine that with the 2 and or crit damage, combine that with an Elaine. That's going to be great. If you can even throw some good passer like a Balteon or even do a 2 stealing front could also be nice. And then you have Soaring Flame that's going to deal an additional 50% damage to goalkeepers and going to cancel out the elemental advantage of dark attribute players, meaning that she's going to have an advantage on everyone and a bonus advantage on Wormwind players. So this is really great. On a stone level, she's really cool. I would say the only thing that you could add to her is if you could give her a little bit more credit would be nice. So maybe changing one of these two stones to something else. Maybe Will of Metatron or an SOB or something in those Cs could make her really OP. Now there's a few other ones who are starting to rise a little bit more, but I'm not going to be really mentioning those. Now in the Wormwind category, Beatrice is basically dead. She's now the worst Wormwind striker. Again, I'm saying she's dead comparatively to the others. I would say the Eru striker is actually starting to become pretty cool. He does play the decrease inflicted damage pretty nicely. He has some very high crit rate capacities, action speed, attack power, and he is utility. So I would say on a non-legendary utility front, I would say in the current rainbow meta, Eru is clearly the strongest. Now, if you were to change his stone slots, he would become even more powerful, but currently he is still the strongest utility striker out there. Of course, I'm not talking about Vonchi or other legendary ones. Once again, I want to point that out. Then on a one-hit KO-ish ideal, I would say Shanti is very close to Charr. The reason for that is actually going to be this one skill. Increase the damage that targets receive and decrease its critical resistance with a shot. Unlike Eru, it's not a line effect, but it's also pretty cool. So you might want to do a little bit of spirit management so that she doesn't use her active on the first but on the second shot, who's going to be very nice. Increase attack power and penetration just in case. And a critical rate and inflicted damage to Andor and Thunder players is also pretty cool. Stone-wise, they are pretty bad. Again, I would say changing them, at least getting one Thunderstone, one Andor Stone at the place of the Light Stone could be cool, or just switching them up a bit could be also really cool. So that's what I would say. In the Wormwind, they're pretty lucky on the striker side. On Thunder, I gotta say, there's no striker that actually really seems like a good meta striker. There are some decent strikers, but if you're not running Mono Thunder, I wouldn't advise any of them whatsoever. So I'm not even going to be talking about this element. P.S. I might be forgetting someone, and I don't like Thunder, so that might be why I'm extremely biased. Now on a light level, we do have Hero, but Hero's not current meta, he's more COD. We have Uriel. Uriel didn't get buffed, so people are hating it. There isn't really a good striker left in light either, I gotta say. None of them are truly meta level. Of course, Vonchi is the true meta, but that is a legendary once again. And on a dark side, there's actually two strikers that are still pretty decent. When I'm talking about the dark side, I'm actually going to go directly for Lucid. She did get one of the coolest changes to her skills, and that was on Solar Eclipse. Now it activates with a critical hit. So receiving passive effect 150%. If you got anything with high passive effect like a Balteon, that could be really cool. You could play to change one of her slots again to follow the meta if you want. If not, there are some other options, but I would say on a dark side, in PvE at least, she's going to be OP. In PvP, she has a lot of potential. And again, on the one-hit KO striker side, Vitos still has a lot of power. I wouldn't dismiss him right away. He has critical rate, increased attack power per target, critical damage. He has increased crit rate, attack power, pen power, a great active. I'd say he's still a pretty decent contender, but it depends how long the match goes, and he's going to be much stronger in PvE. Now, if we consider that you're ready to roll any amount of Dimension Stones and you just don't care, I would really say now the strongest is actually going to be between both of the Wormwind strikers. Which one? That's more technical to what exact line you're running. I would say my personal favorite is actually going to be Iru. He might start off pretty weak in the game, but this punishment of the dragon is just too OP because it's going to actually affect the entire position, making it extremely easy to steal and KO players. He has great crit rate because it's going to increase every 3 minutes. So especially in long games, this can be very high. Action speed, attack power, like I talked about earlier. Well, in comparison, Shanty is more like on a 2-hit wonder ideal. Again, it depends how long you want to go, but if you have trouble, Shanty is not going to be able to gain much more power. So after the second shot, this is Shanty's max power. If they're running some of the new metas like the Jin with the Thunder Healstone and a Virgil, a Silk, or something very strong like that, she's actually going to be pretty weak. So I would vote that Iru has the most potential in the 5 stars if you change her color slots. Shanty is pretty close behind, and basically at the same level of Shanty, I would throw Charr. Now there are some other strikers, and those strikers are going to be stronger in mono elements, so that is why I'm not mentioning them. Thunder does have some strikers, but they just are not as good when you're not in mono Thunder. That's why I'm not mentioning them. Light does have some stuff, especially Hero, but again, this is going to require some other stuff that are specific to Light, so I can't throw those in either. So I hope this helps you guys get a basic idea on what's going on, but I really gotta say Wormwind is getting really powerful on a striker side, yet of course on the legendary side, it's not really the same game. So I hope this helps you guys get an idea on what's really the new current meta on strikers and which ones would I consider the strongest. Again, any striker can be built to be really OP. This is just looking at the skills and looking at what the meta is, and when I'm talking about the meta, I believe that for all of those, I was talking about having in the lane center front. So have a good day, guys. And again, if you have any other requests or any comments or ideas, just write a comment in the description and be sure to subscribe.